The combine pitch was empty, except for Ren and the weight of 999 silent rejections. But on this 1000th trial, as the ball rolled toward him, something inside Ren finally broke. A cold blue number materialized above the goal. Goal probability, 1.2%. He flinched, then watched it shift minutely as he adjusted his planting foot, 4.7%. He saw the single causal chain that would turn a prayer into a goal. He struck the ball, and it arced toward the corner with mathematical certainty. The scouts, who had already drafted their rejection notes, froze in disbelief. The net rippled. The blue number flickered and dissolved into the evening air.
Did I just see that? What was that number?
For the first time, the one they called No Future had become the transfer window's impossible rumor. Within the hour, Ren sat in a cramped office, a single contract on the table. The scouts had changed their tune.
You are a wild card. The club needs a miracle. Don't waste this contract.
A miracle. If they knew I saw a number. But what was it?
He pulled a crumpled note from his pocket. One of the 999 that said no future.
All those folded papers that said no. And now a contract. But something feels off.
He signed his name, the ink bleeding into the fiber. A promise he didn't fully understand.
Ren signed. But that number felt like a door opened to something cold and calculating.
That night, the thrill faded. Under a canopy of stars, Ren couldn't stop replaying the blue number.
It wasn't imagination. It was real. And it felt like something was watching.
He didn't know yet that the gift would demand a price, something that would blur the line between talent and machine. A week later, under stadium lights, Ren stepped onto the pitch for his debut. The roar of the crowd drowned out his lingering doubts.
There it is. That blue number again, hovering over the goal like a verdict. Goal probability. Goal probability, 18%.
He didn't hesitate. He let the number guide his foot, his body moving down the calculated path.
Shoot. Now, the trajectory is clear.
The ball sliced through the air, past the keeper's dive, and rattled the net. The stadium erupted, but as the euphoria hit, a cold wave washed through his skull. His vision blurred, and for a split second, the world went silent.
Just exhaustion. It's the adrenaline. Nothing more. Focus on the win.
Teammates mobbed him, slapping his back, chanting his name. He forced a smile. Pushing the dizziness aside, the next morning, the headlines screamed, "Miracle Boy Ren, from reject to prodigy in one game."
Miracle Boy. But what if the miracle is borrowing something I can't pay back?
Training ground. Ren moved through the drills, but his limbs felt like borrowed machinery, stiff, imprecise.
The ball feels distant, like I am reading a manual instead of playing. Why is the number so dim?
A simple 1-2 drill. The ball slipped from his touch. Teammates exchanged glances.
Ignore the whispers. Just focus. The goals prove I am doing something right.
On the sideline, Ito watched silently. The veteran coach's weathered eyes saw the truth. Ren was hiding.
Your body's a puppet, Ren. The strings are showing. You are reading numbers, not the field.
I am scoring. That's what matters. The method doesn't matter if the result is a goal.
A goal today won't matter tomorrow if you lose the soul of your game. Can't you feel it draining?
He's wrong. I just need to trust the numbers more. They've never failed me.
But as he turned back to the pitch, the probability number above the goal flickered erratically, like a dying light. In the locker room, the talk was no longer about Ren's goals. A new name silenced every conversation. Steel Keeper. The guardian who had never conceded to a rookie. A legend who broke dreams.
Never conceded to a rookie? Then he's my trial. The final test for this ability.
He pulled up old highlights. Impossible saves, strikers frozen in disbelief. Each clip tightened the knot in his gut. On the screen, the Steel Keeper stood in his goal, arms crossed, eyes like frozen lakes.
Those eyes, They've seen 1,000 misses. They expect mine, but the numbers won't let me miss.
The poster appeared overnight. The oracle verses, the steel wall, his name next to that legend, a dream and a curse.
Oracle. They actually believe I can see the future. But all I see is a cold percentage that keeps flickering. What if that percentage hits 0? No path, no goal. Just like all the others he's broken.
The match was set. In 3 weeks, Ren would face the keeper who had personally ended 999 dreams, just like his, determined to prove Ito wrong. Ren stepped onto the training pitch and vowed to silence the blue number.
No calculations. Just feel the ball, the grass, the goal. Like when I was a kid.
He struck the ball. It sailed wide, not by inches, but by yards, a shot his past self would have buried.
That felt wrong. Like my body forgot the motion. The number's not there, and neither is my aim.
His teammates exchanged uneasy looks. The miracle boy, missing a sitter.
The probability number is flickering again, but it's dim, like it's laughing at me for even trying without it.
Later, the locker room emptied. Ren sat alone, head buried in his hands, the echo of rejection louder than ever.
I can't feel the game anymore. It's just cold numbers. If I can't play without them, am I even a footballer?
The fear he'd pushed aside crystallized. The gift wasn't just showing him the path. It was becoming the only path. And beyond the locker room wall, the poster of the Steel Keeper loomed, a reminder that his next test would offer no room for doubt. In the silence, Ren heard an echo, not of the crowd, but of a distant laugh from years ago. The locker room walls dissolved into a dirt field, golden with evening light.
Over here. Pass it to me.
Bare feet pounded the earth. The goal was 2 chipped sticks, but it was the most important net in the world. The ball rolled to young Ren. He didn't think. He just swung, and the world became a blur of joy.
This feeling. I want to keep this forever.
The other kids mobbed him, their laughter drowning out everything else. But the dirt field faded, and the cold locker room reclaimed him.
That kid had nothing. And everything. What did I trade away?
The poster outside seemed to whisper, "The joy is the price of the numbers." He found Ido in the run-down park, sitting on a broken bench as if waiting for him.
I knew you'd come. That missed shot. I've seen that stare in a mirror.
How do you know? What is this ability really? You warned me before.
Ido pulled out a faded photo of a young player grinning with a trophy, his eyes alive with passion.
That was me, 40 years ago. I could see the probability too. It cost me everything. Goal by goal, it erased my instinct. Even now, I feel dead watching a match.
Then how do I stop it? The Steel Keeper. I need the numbers to score.
That's the trap. The ability is a test, not a gift. You must let the numbers fall silent. Trust the boy who played on dirt fields. If you can't, the Steel Keeper will be the least of your losses.
Ren looked at the photo, then at his own trembling hands, understanding the true cost for the first time. The announcement dominated every screen. The oracle verses, the steel wall. 1 week. The city buzzed with impossible expectations.
Oracle. They've built a myth around me. But myths shatter when the numbers hit 0.
That night, sleep refused him. He sat on the floor of his apartment, a football resting beside him, silent and accusing.
Just juggle it. No numbers. Like Ito said, trust the boy. But my feet feel like lead.
The ball rolled away after 2 touches. The third never came. A child could keep it up longer.
It's worse. Every time I call the number, another piece of me goes cold. Soon there'll be nothing left.
At training, he let the number guide him again and scored. But the emptiness afterwards felt deeper than any miss.
I can't live without it. Against the Steel Keeper, that's 0%. It'll be the end.
The poster seemed to swallow the room. 1 week, he traced the Steel Keeper's silhouette, feeling the weight of every dream it had crushed. His hands balled into fists, but they wouldn't stop trembling. The test had never felt more impossible. The night before the match, Ren stood alone on the training pitch, the stadium lights cold and indifferent.
One more time. Just feel the grass, the ball, the goal. No numbers, please.
He tried a simple dribble, but the ball skidded off his foot like a stranger, refusing his command.
Again, focus. The body remembers, doesn't it? Why can't I feel anything?
He kicked again, harder, but the ball rolled lazily into the netless goal, mocking him.
It's gone. Everything Ito warned about, I am just a shell reading percentages. The boy on the dirt field is dead. I've lost my touch. I can't feel the game anymore. What am I without it?
Through the tears, he heard Ito's voice, a warning, now a lifeline. The ability is a test, not a gift, but the test felt impossible. Tomorrow, the Steelkeeper would expose every ounce of hollow calculation. He stayed on his knees until the lights went out, the pitch swallowing him in darkness. Match day. The tunnel throbbed with 80,000 heartbeats, each pulse a hammer on Ren's ribs.
Breathe. Just walk. The pitch is the same size. The goals haven't moved, but my legs feel hollow.
He stepped into the blinding light, and the roar became a physical wall pressing against his chest. During warm-up, he saw him. The Steelkeeper, a statue of frost, eyes locking like a blade to the throat.
Don't look away. But those eyes, they're not just confident. They're certain of my failure.
Above the Keeper's goal, a sickly blue number flickered, twitching, unable to settle.
No solid percentage. It's never done that. Is it breaking? Or am I? What does this mean?
The Steelkeeper's thin smile acknowledged the torment. To him, Ren was just another shattered dream in his collection.
He's already won in here, unless I shut the number out completely. But I don't know how.
The referee's whistle sliced through the tension. The match had begun, and Ren's first touch felt like stepping off a cliff. The opening minutes were a blur of missed touches and heavy limbs. The ball wouldn't come, and when it did, the number twitched below 4.
Finally, a pass into space. Goal probability, 3%. That's barely a thread, but it's all I have.
He hesitated, a heartbeat too long, then struck the ball with none of the machine's certainty. It drifted softly. The Steelkeeper glided to his right, collected the ball with one hand, and held it aloft, as if displaying a trophy.
That was pathetic. Even the number knew. It's flickering lower now, almost mocking me.
The crowd erupted in laughter. Then signs rose 999, the number of his rejections, held up like a verdict.
They know. The rejections followed me here. Every folded no is written on those signs.
The Steelkeeper didn't even glance at Ren as he rolled the ball to a defender. A silent dismissal.
The number is stuttering. 2, 1, it's dying. And so is my last shred of control.
A chilling truth settled in his gut. He was losing not just the match, but the last fragments of the boy who loved the game. Then, a defensive mistake. The ball slipped through, and Ren was suddenly alone with the Steelkeeper. The stadium held its breath.
The probability materialized, but it burned cold. 0.0%. No thread, no path, just absolute void.
He stared, disbelief paralyzing his legs. The number didn't flicker, it just pulsed, steady and final.
No way. There's always a number. This is the Keeper's doing. He's broken the ability itself.
The Steelkeeper tilted his head, a predator's amusement. He spread his arms wide, daring Ren to shoot.
He's inviting me. He knows I have nothing. The whole stadium sees it.
Ren's arms dropped. His foot wouldn't swing. The moment stretched into an eternity of frozen instinct. Defenders swarmed. The chance died. The ball was swept away, and with it, the last breath of hope. The Steelkeeper's smile was a silent verdict. His eyes gleamed with cold satisfaction. I told you so. The game restarted, but Ren stood transfixed, staring at the empty space where the 0 had branded his soul. The fourth official's board lit up. Ren's number, bold and red, a sentence without appeal.
I am being erased. The coach lost faith. I can't blame him.
The crowd's roar decayed into a papery rustle. 999 rejection notes unfolding at once. Every seat held a folded paper. Every scream was ink spelling no future here.
They've been waiting for this. The reject letter made flesh. If I walk off, the note wins. Everything ends here.
The steel keeper's chuckle cut through the noise. A victor already counting his trophy.
There has to be more. The test. Ito said it's not a gift. I need to pass it.
Tanaka's hand jabbed toward the bench. The fourth official raised the board higher, impatient.
Give me one more touch. Just one. Let me prove I am not a machine.
A deflected ball skidded toward Ren outside the box. The number appeared, 0.2%, flickering like a dying candle. He struck anyway. The ball dribbled forward, a weak offering that the steel keeper gathered with theatrical slowness. The stadium erupted, not in cheers, but in a wave of laughter that crashed over the pitch. The 999 signs rose again, brandished like weapons. The crowd savored his despair. Ren's knees buckled. He dropped to the grass, hands clawing at the earth.
That's it. No more chances. The 90 minutes are up. The note wins.
The steel keeper tossed the ball back into play, without a glance, already celebrating.
Even the number has abandoned me. It's not even 0.2 anymore. It's just gone.
The referee glanced at his watch. The game had seconds to live. Ren didn't move. The boy who played on dirt fields was silent, and the machine had nothing left to calculate. In the void of his despair, a voice surfaced. Not the crowd's, but Ito's, clear as a bell.
The ability is a test, not a gift. You must let the numbers fall silent.
The number. It's not the only path. It was never meant to be.
He lifted his head. The blue glow, once a lifeline, now looked like bars on a cage.
I let fear chain me to certainty. But the boy on the dirt field never knew percentages. He just played.
He closed his eyes. The number flickered, then began to unravel like thread.
No more numbers. Trust the body. Trust the joy.
For the first time, he didn't fight the void. He welcomed it.
I'll shoot for the kid with dirt on his shorts. Not for the machine.
When he opened his eyes, the blue was gone. Only the goal remained, waiting. A loose ball skipped across the grass. Ren lunged after it, but his feet tangled, the muscle memory gone.
Come on. Ignore the stiffness. Trust the body you used to own.
He tried a feint, but his legs swung like a rusted hinge. The ball rolled away mockingly.
This shell isn't mine. Every match with the number stole another piece of me.
He stumbled, arms flailing, the turf rising to meet him. The crowd's laughter pierced like broken glass. He clutched the grass, gasping. The defenders had already cleared the ball.
He can't even control a simple touch. Was it all a lie?
He pushed himself up, staring at his shaking legs as if they belonged to a stranger.
Letting go of the number isn't enough. I need to remember why I ever loved this.
Deep beneath the panic, a memory stirred. Dirt fields, chipped sticks, a boy who played just for the thrill. In stoppage time, a hopeful clearance skied high. The ball plummeted toward Ren outside the box. Time stretched.
One last chance. The number is there. 0.0, but it's just a ghost now. It means nothing.
The frozen probability shattered into motes, and the stadium sound died. Only the dirt field memory blazed alive.
Don't think, Ren. Just kick it.
Ren smiled. A small, broken release. And let the joy be his only calculation.
For the dirt field. For the boy who never needed a percentage to believe.
His backswing was fluid, ancient, unwatched. He struck the ball with the muscle memory of 1,000 childish games. The ball launched, not on a calculated arc, but on a prayer. It cut through the frozen air. Beyond all logic, the steel keeper dove, but his reach was a fraction too slow. The ball bent toward the far corner, defying his reputation. For an eternal heartbeat, the stadium held its breath. 80,000 souls suspended between miracle and disappointment. The ball slashed into the top corner, the net snapping backward with a violent, definitive shiver. The steel keeper lay frozen on the turf, arms still reaching for a ghost, his glacial composure shattered. Silence. A vacuum where the laughter had lived. Then a roar that shook the foundations of the stadium. Ren didn't hear it. He dropped to his knees, eyes fixed on the rippling net, as if witnessing creation.
It went in. Without the number. Without the cold machine calculating every angle. Just me.
The last blue mote evaporated from his vision. The ability dissolving like a curse finally broken.
The instinct. It's rushing back. Warm. Alive. I can feel the game again.
Tears carved clean lines through the dirt on his cheeks. He didn't wipe them away. The scoreboard flashed 1-0. 96th minute. The 1,000th dream had ended, but not in the way the legends foretold. The steel keeper rose slowly, a single nod of acknowledgement. Not defeat, but recognition of the boy who had reclaimed his game. The referee's whistle sliced through the roar. 3 long blasts. It was over. The unbreakable record had shattered. His teammates crashed into him, a wave of screams and sweat, lifting him above the turf like a hero.
It's real. The record is broken, and I am free. No more cold numbers.
In the stands, Scout Tanaka's clipboard slipped from his limp fingers, the scouting report scattering like his own certainties.
A wild card. I never imagined this. The reject just did the impossible.
Amid the chaos, Ren looked down at his hands, flexing his fingers. No blue glow, only warmth.
The instinct is rushing back. I can feel every blade of grass, every possibility. Not a calculation, a feeling.
The contract he'd signed in desperation felt like another lifetime. This moment rewrote everything.
The 999 rejections meant nothing. The only probability that matters is the one I create.
As the stadium chanted his name, Ren scanned the crowd, not for the scouts, but for a glimpse of the dirt fields of his past. Ren pulled away from the mob, walking toward the tunnel with a new lightness in his stride. The steel keeper stood in the center circle, his stare no longer cold, only honest respect. They exchanged a single nod, no words. The battle was over, and the war of numbers had ended. Then, a kid's voice cut through the din. Ren, Ren. Ren looked up, his eyes finding a small boy with a dirty jersey, waving wildly.
For a heartbeat, I saw myself. The boy who once played on dirt fields with nothing but joy. The boy never left. He was just waiting for me to remember.
Ren smiled, a quiet, genuine, full smile, and continued toward the tunnel. The weight of 999 folded notes had vanished, replaced by the simple certainty of a game he loved. Behind him, the stadium still roared, but for Ren, the only sound was the echo of a child's laugh on a dirt field. He slipped away from the noise, finding a quiet overlook beyond the stadium's edge. Below, a patch of packed dirt had been forgotten and claimed by a handful of kids with a worn ball. They shouted, barefoot, laughing with every wild kick, their joy unrehearsed and absolute.
They don't need percentages. They play because the ball is round and the goal is 2 sticks. That's enough.
The image dissolved over the years, overlaying the boy he once was onto the players below.
I was afraid the machine had erased him, but he was here all along, just waiting for me to stop calculating.
He leaned on the railing, watching the game unfold in its purest form. No scouts, no numbers, only joy.
The only probability that matters is the one I create, and I'll keep creating it. With these hands, this heart.
The game belongs to anyone who dares to play, and Ren had reclaimed his right to be a part of it. He turned away, walking into the twilight, not as the miracle boy, but simply as Ren.